Tea asks us to slow down and to be in the present moment with your senses, your body, and a little cup of magic. The dry leaf contains the entire life story, how it grew on the vine, how it was picked and handled with care. It holds on to it tight until it gets to meet you. When we add water back into the leaf, we wake it up again so it can perform its beautiful dance in our cup, sharing all the love it was given from the sun, the rain, and the earth. It holds all the promises of Mother Nature in just one simple leaf. Traditionally in China, they use gaiwans, a lidded vessel with a saucer to steep your tea. The gaiwan represents the harmony between heaven, earth, and humanity. The saucer, the earth, the ground, the roots, the foundation from which we grow. The bowl, the humanity, the earthly realm, where the magic can happen in the in-betweens. The lid, trapping the tea's aroma and keeping the brew warm. Heaven overhead, watching, protecting, knowing when it's time to be lifted. Drinking tea is a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things, even the parts we cannot see or understand. We need all three to drink the life of the tea leaf. We need all three to live. Tea asks us to be present in this full sensory experience, a ritualistic moment honoring each of our senses, slow and focused. Offering us the opportunity to enjoy a mindful moment, reminding us not to rush through this daily task, but instead, tea gives us the freedom to pause, settle, take a much-needed breath. Making a pot of tea takes time. It requires patience and attention, drinking it leisurely with no pressure to rush, to actually enjoy it. And maybe tea knew that we needed this, a purposeful move on humanity, on our life. It isn't meant to be gulped down, but delighted in every drink, truly witnessing the present moment. Then, maybe, we all could finally be contented in the finality of the last sip, instead of constantly devouring more and more. Tea is an act of rebellion against a society that tells us to rush, to constantly achieve, attain more and more, become better and better. Or is that more bitter and bitter? When will our brew be oversteeped? Combat this fast-paced world with the time it takes to sip a cup. Slow down to taste. Slow down to live. We are often told to continually empty out of our own cups, but if all we do is pour out, we will have nothing left for ourselves. Tea welcomes you to fill yours up more often. Take extra sips and breathe easier. Don't wait for your teapot to be empty. Tea is a way of saying I love you to yourself. Like our bones store up minerals, save a little for later. Then the overflow is so much more rich and loving. Imagine the waterfall of love we could share if we all took a slow tea time together more often. I think the world would be softer, a happier place, because tea gives us the space to remember what life is really about and who we want to be in this world. I think we have lost this art of slowing down, watching, truly witnessing the life around us. But when we pause over our cups, we bring space to our problems. And on the whisper of steam, your tea can tell you secret messages. You can find all the solutions in the stillness. In such a loud world, let tea be your escape back home to you. And tea always seems to have the answers, a best friend that always listens. By the time you see the bottom of your cup, you have breathed in some realizations Anxious energies have seemingly steeped away. The clarity found in the calm. Your spirit grounded and centered, easily moving forward into your truth, strong roots of your tree. When making a cup of tea for a loved one, we ask each other, how do you take your tea? A simple question, and a way that we all acknowledge and respect that we're all different. There are so many types of tea and so many ways to drink them. Whether someone wishes a little extra sugar in their life or a caffeine-free option, it shouldn't change our view on them. Who someone loves, the color of their skin, their chosen beliefs and religion, we need to listen to tea. I believe Mother Nature gifted us with this beverage so she could express her wisdom without words. Tea's our way to connect the dots when we don't even speak the same languages, to listen with more than just our ears. When we rush, we often make mistakes, and we've been rushing for far too long, haven't we? So let's all breathe and take a second look, re-steep our leaves. And we can start with the common ground of simply asking someone, how do you take your tea? A kind gesture of love to enjoy the passage of life as we individually wish. And instead, when we are finding someone different than ourselves, simply acknowledging, it's just not my cup of tea. Tea is more than just an infusion of leaves. It can be a teacher. Each cup is its own individual experience, never to sip these exact leaves in the exact same way again. Ichigo ichi is a Japanese term that speaks of a one-time encounter that can never be repeated. Each scoop, each sip, sacred. A moment in time to cherish, even in its imperfections. Sometimes it's a nervous sip, unsure of the temperature and what the entire experience will taste like, but knowing you definitely want to go back for more. Each steep brings out new flavors, a different taste, a new feeling. Sometimes it's oversteeped and slightly bitter. Sometimes too weak and needs a little bit more attention. Others are deliciously sweet. Some days you arrive in an anxious energy, simply going through the motions instead of savoring every drop offered. Some days you have all the time in the world and your pot is continually being filled up and you're allowed to sit slowly and enjoy. And tea can be sipped in any moment, on the go and at home. It can be sipped in a fancy teacup as well as a humble mug, barefoot or all dressed up. It can enhance joy and ease in tearful sorrows, in celebration and grief and remembrance, but also on an uncomplicated Tuesday afternoon, to bring life back to our loved ones lost and a promise to the future, all right here in the present moment. Oolongs are a beautiful and very poetic category of tea. They fall on a spectrum between green and black tea. Oolongs are formed through the processing of rolling and various levels of oxidization. Oxidization in tea is the development of color and depth of flavor as it is exposed to the air. Like when you cut an apple and it turns brown, that action happens to the tea leaves. Oolongs can be steeped multiple times. This encourages taking your time and making it an afternoon of tea. It's even better with a friend. So the same leaves, but each time you pour water on them, they release new flavors as they unwind a little bit more. Each cup may be different from the last, yet all coming from the same leaf. Gung fu tea, talking tea, where making and preparing it takes skill, a meticulous tea ceremony focused on savoring the flavors and aromas, honing in on the experience rather than the destination. They can be part of a meditative practice, drinking for the ritual, the conversations shared in an experience of appreciation, a sophisticated way of brewing and enjoying tea. As we sip an oolong, it's like a journey through life and the lessons we learn along the way. The first few cups are exciting, fresh, lots to learn and anticipation for the next. Middle brews may be bitter, too strong to handle some days and requiring a slower sip. Learning how to thrive after we have boiled our water too hard and brewed our tea for a bit too long. A bit of self-love is required. As the leaves have unfurled, they spoke truths in your cup. The brew now weakens, lending its strength to you. You have drunk so much, and the steep is softer, mellowed into an elegance and wisdom's absorbed. Fragrant floral notes return and a sweetness in each sip once again. That's the beauty of the story of an oolong tea leaf. The adventures we experience and the lessons we find at the bottom of our cup. And then the next day, we start a whole new pot. Tea is often taken in solitude, but tea is meant to be shared, offered through friendship. The gesture of giving tea is sharing a cup of love and peace, connecting, sipping memories around a pot, a beautiful sangha. The heat, the steam, the tapas, the reward in our own hard work, and the joy of sipping it all in together. A feeling of safety amongst friends and knowing we are all taking tea in our own way. This space welcomes your woes and encourages connections. Weave it in as often as you can. These relationships, while sipping tea, cultivate resilience. And when your brew is oversteeped, they remind you that you are a perfectly blended you. Boldness like a Kenyan Tinderette, soft edges like a jasmine green. All of us are special and a needed ingredient in the tea chest of life. A diverse palette full of colors and a wide spectrum of flavors. Without one, we wouldn't have the magic in our brews. There is a process to making a good cup of tea, a proper sequence. But yet if you stray from it or start in a different spot, most times you can still create something tasty. You may not measure things out with precision or have the best of the best teacups and spoons, and yet you are still taking tea. So go treasure hunting with your cup of tea. Find the beauty in the simplicity, all the basics of a really well-made builder's tea. All are welcome to be part of our community. Any cultivar will do, and make sure to bring a friend or two. My intention with my tea is to spread love and kindness. My sankalpa is the same. Tea is my love language, so I share it all with you. My hope is in the future, when you look at your humble cup of tea, you'll have a little more spark of wonder. For this mighty little leaf holds so much more power than we can see on the surface. Remember to thank the hands that cultivated, cared for, and farmed it. Breathe in the history of many sips before. Taste life on your lips. Like a warm hug from Mother Earth, share a cup of slow tea. Feel connection and love for others. Keep refilling up your pot. Unwind bit by bit and circle back again and again. Remember to be like an oolong. Oversteep every ounce of flavor from your existence here. Let us hear your whole story, the bitter alongside the sweetness. Witness your lessons one steep at a time, and be present for every drop of this life, your life. And just like the phoenix will rise from the ashes, you will too. Your instructions just say, add a little more hot water, reminding you to unfurl once again. Today, this minute, special and unique, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Like each individual tea leaf, remarkable in its own way, you are never to be repeated as you are presently. So savor each sip, filling up to the brim. And to think this was all possible from that one single leaf falling from that one single tree. Sometimes falling can get you exactly where you're meant to be. Thank you so much.